real quick. I'm going to say this to everybody real quick. Let's make this crystal clear for the whole damn world to understand. What you're seeing right now is the whole world seeing what foundational Black Americans was telling them a long time ago. It ain't our fault they didn't want to listen. It ain't our fault we told them we weren't rocking with these folks. It ain't our fault we told them this is a new generation and we bringing it to them live and in living color. All across social media, you got these people of color, minorities, tethers, fleers, and they begging for us to come in the system. They are truly begging. You got a bunch of different excuses. And remember, excuses come in twos, threes, and fours. So they trying to come up with the people who do reverse psychology. You got the folks who are getting mad. You got the folks who are being emotional. Whatever tactic they use to try to get us to help them, it ain't working. And understand this, fam. These people are out here trying to get us involved in situations that would truly cost us our lives. So we already know off top what these people are hitting for. And we already know off top who these people are, and they don't give a damn about the welfare foundation of Black Americans. It ain't just the fact that we've never seen these people stand next to us. And like my brother John Horst said earlier, we got receipts to show that they've always been anti-us. That's only one side of the story. Let me give you the other side of the story. And that is when these people are out there burning American flags and they're out there attacking federal officers and it's getting very violent, that means if you went there, then you would be involved in that violence. And you know, anytime a Black person is involved in violence, it get very, very ugly. So we would be putting our life on the line to cape for these folks. There ain't no such thing as coming to a protest and just marching and walking when you got Black people there. They want us all to fall for the okie doke, setting us up for traps. So if a couple Black folks want to go out there and crash the hell out, go ahead. I'll see you on the 11 o'clock news. But foundational Black Americans are certified ones. We ain't doing that. I'd be damned if I'm gonna go out there and risk my life for Julio Romero Gonzalez. Hell no. I'd be damned if I'm gonna risk my life for the Democratic Party. Hell no. I'm not walking into no violent situation that does not concern me at all. So there's two things on two sides of the fence. Ain't it crazy that foundational Black Americans, they call us the bad people when we say that we denounce them burning flags? Ain't that exactly what MAGA say all day? MAGA been out here all day long talking about how dare you burn this American flag. That's un-American. What's any different when I say it? They don't like the fact, family, that we stand in on patriotism. They don't like that fact. Okay, let me tell you how the world is. The world is not supposed to operate where foundational Black Americans are saying, we're the Americans, your ass is the illegal, you need to go. They want to hit us with the go back to Africa. See, what that does, that dilutes our citizenship. We have rejected that. We've canceled that. That ain't working. So now we're speaking from the position of power. You know what that position of power is? It's called citizenship. This situation and the way that these Mexicans are crashing out right now, and they're the laughing stock of the world, this situation is only highlighting our delineation more. They doing us a favor. They doing us a solid. We told everybody out there that we're Americans and we stand in on American business. And when you see foundational Black Americans out there denouncing the flag burning, denouncing all of the chaos, that's only making us look more patriotic, more American, and more citizens, and it's making them look more like invaders. So these people are falling out, crashing out, breaking down, and melting down all at the same damn time. So I'm going to send an extra special shout out to the National Guard, to Tom Homan, to Donald Trump. Y'all keep up the good goddamn work, and you keep on sending these people home, and you got the full support of me. I support anybody who sends people home who disrespects that flag. Because remember, there'd be no U.S.A. without FBA. If somebody wants to pick up the RBG flag, go ahead. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that foundational Black American flag, that Black heritage flag, and I even put up the USA flag because that damn thing wouldn't exist without us. But I guarantee you one thing, it's going to be about this landmass right here and not about Mexico or Africa or Jamaica. So y'all go ahead and have fun with that, and we're going to have fun being certified. Let me continue the hands. Let me send it to my brother Black Truth United.
Salute, Brother Black Alpha, Brother Church, Brother EJ, Sister Miriam, Sister Stolen Ancestors 1526, and everyone else here in the room. I definitely love this topic. This is a great time to be FBA here in the U.S., watching the other groups who have historically and currently been against us and seeing them fall for their own traps that they laid for us. So it's a beautiful time. I did want to touch on something that Sister Nice D girl said earlier. She was talking about the post that she made, which I think hit well over 10 million views. And She was simply telling us to, mind our own business. A very simple phrase. Since when has minding one's own business meant a bad thing? All of a sudden, that's a bad thing, but they want us to mind our own business when it comes to their resources, when it comes to these political positions, when it comes to power, when it comes to resources, businesses, all types of real estate deals, underhanded things that they're doing behind the scenes. They want us to mind our business then, but when it comes to them facing something that they have never truly faced alone, now they want us to, hey, we want you to get involved. We want you to mind our business now. No, it doesn't work that way. If you didn't want us to mind your business when you were getting all these deals and getting all these resources and stuff that we couldn't even imagine getting. I mean, even just the fact that when they come over, their credit is completely wiped clean and they have a free, clean slate to get homes and to get all kinds of stuff, all the job opportunities that they get, the what do they call them? Kind of like STEM program things, apprenticeship programs that we can't get a hold of. They don't want us to get involved in that. But when it comes time to fight, then now, we want you involved. I'm tired of it. And so I think we need to help. I think we need to help them. We need to help them get back to their homelands. So I'm advocating everyone here, start making your list, start checking it twice, find out who's illegal and who's not, start reporting. The number is 866-347-2423. That's 866-347-2423. We're not in the civil rights age, and that's 100% correct. We are now in the ice age. With that, I'll land.
I think low key, if they do have any of Donald Trump's people in here from his cabinet or anything like that, I think they should incentivize us to call ICE, and for every illegal immigrant that we find, we can get a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? I think they should do that. Maybe like $2,000 per illegal we find or call. I just think we should do that. I think we'll be able to clear it out real quick. I think that'll be a really, really good idea.
They put that on the table, and I'm gonna start a whole new business tomorrow. No problem. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna saddle up the horse. I'm gonna put on a cowboy hat, get the boots on, and I'm going right out there with my whip and my bull whip and my goddamn rope, and I'm and all the way through. Everyone I catch, I don't care. I'm whipping it to the feet and I'm dragging them back.
I'm trying to tell you, bro, for a few trillion, yeah, bro. Like if he do something like that, yeah, that'll take care of the illegal immigrant situation real quick. But then something that we also need to also think about, we need to start looking for these business owners who hire these people. Because these business owners who hire these people, these are the people who lobbying for all of them to actually come over here. That's the reason why a lot of this stuff is going on too. We need to lock up these business owners and and start penalizing these corporations who lobby for these people.
Let me say this real quick. I believe all options are on the table right now. Because let's go there, fam. Can we rewind just a little bit? Let's rewind just a few months ago. Y'all remember when they were saying Donald Trump ain't gonna do nothing? He don't have the constitutional power. Family, you seen them visas that he just cut off? Yeah, a lot of folks said that wasn't gonna happen. You see the fact that they coming down now on a lot of them H-1B visas. These folks ain't playing with these minorities, these people of colors. You think Tom Homan is playing with these folks? Hell no. It's our job to sit here, stand on foundational Black American business and do some instigating. What does instigating sound like? It sounds like this. It sounds like, Mr. Mayo, I know you are not going to let Mr. Julio talk to you like that. I know you are not going to let them come to your country in an American city and burn the damn flag. You need to stand up for yourself, Mr. Mayo, Mr. MAGA, Mr. American. And do not let Mr. Jackie Chan come on over here and steal some college degrees from your kid. That's what we need to do. And I definitely believe the next step is, I think we're going to have some sheriffs running around here, and that's going to be the next step. Because remember, fam, they also said Donald Trump wasn't going to use the military. Well, I just seen about an hour ago that the Marines are right there live in the living color. They said that wasn't going to happen. Remember that now. They said Donald Trump wasn't going to enact the Alien Enemies Act. Remember, no, ain't no way he can do that. Well, the Alien Enemies Act is there. See, it's our job to do exactly what they've done to us. What happens when a foundational Black American has another issue with a foundational Black American? Who gets in the middle of that? And who instigates that? Who gets us to turn on each other the most? Who ended up getting the Black Panther Party to separate and get these people to fight each other? Who was writing letters from Bobby Seale to Huey Newton and Huey Newton to Bobby Seale? Who was doing that? It was them. They always find a way to fuel the flames of any type of conflict we have. It's the same exact thing that they did before. So, family, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and do the same exact thing when it comes to folks with the migrants. Make sure every last one of these people ends up understanding that all options are open, and I fully support whatever Donald Trump wants to do when it comes to cleaning out anybody who is here unlawfully. That's the American way.
Don't let these people make you feel bad for what should be happening to these people. Like, you know, they was bringing up, many people have brought up how Nate Dogg's son's out there. They're using people like Nate Dogg's son, the game and things like that to try to convince you that we should be out there with them. Nate Dogg's son, his baby mama is Hispanic, is Mexican. So, you know, that's something he's gonna do. That's his vajayjay that's on the line. He don't want his vajayjay taken away. But for us, we don't have to feel bad about it, because guess what? Nobody feels bad when it's us. They talk about family separation and all this other stuff. They're separating families. You're for separating families. When anybody in our community goes to jail, whether warranted or unwarranted, they're separating families. Ain't nobody saying nothing about it. I ain't seen nobody trying to rush into any of these jails the same way not Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters was trying to rush into the dang facilities to check on those illegals. They don't do that for us. They don't feel no type. As a matter of fact, I played on my broadcast the other day how this Hispanic police officer pulled this sister over on the freeway and literally pulled out her gun in front of the woman's child. And when the woman asked her, "Why are you pulling the gun on me?" she said, "Because I'm going to shoot you," in front of this woman's child. Then not only proceeded to drag her out of the car, but arrest her. And then she said, "What are you doing? What are you arresting me for?" She didn't want to give her. She just kept telling her to shut up. She's dragging this woman to the police car. The baby gets out on the freeway crying, trying to rush to the mother. She said, "You're doing this in front of my child." That woman says, "I don't give a damn." So we need to make sure we have that same type of energy times 10, times 20, because of the fact they don't give a damn when it comes to our children. They don't give a damn when it comes to us. So if you really, really don't want to be separate, that's cool. Tom Homan said the whole family can go. That's all it is.
I'm glad you see it that way. I made it a point last night on my broadcast. By the way, everybody subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. Go ahead, look in the jumbo. It should be up there. But check me out. I made a good point last night on my broadcast where I keep emphasizing the war aspect of this. This is a war. This is war. This is definitely war. This right now is America versus the illegal invaders. And this is what Donald Trump and the dominant society said that they were going to do once they got here. Supremacy operates in two different ways. Supremacy operates by the liberals who want to use these minorities as human shields versus the conservatives who say they only want white people doing it. And to be honest with you, the conservatives would rather deal with Black Americans before they would deal with Julio Romero or Jackie Chan. So Joe Biden and Kamala Harris providing these people all these tangibles, that was a violation in the eyes of Donald Trump and his administration. And he made it clear, I will do anything possible to get these people out of America when I become president. People can say whatever they want to say, but he said it clear as day. He said, when I am president, I will carry out the largest mass deportation in American history. And what you have right now is you have a bunch of Mexicans who happen to understand that what they were sold by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is gone. Imagine this, family. Imagine having them borders open for 4 years. And I know for a fact that they said 12 million, then 12 million turned into 22 million. I heard that it's closer to 30 million illegals in 4 years. That's 30 million illegal immigrants in 4 years under the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration. Not to mention the millions that were already here, and not to mention the ones that went through the proper channels to be coming. Family, you're talking about 100 millions of people who are here who ain't got no goddamn business being here, or if they went through the proper way, they still have anti-blackness. Donald Trump wasn't playing none of that. And he told everybody it's going to be the Alien Enemies Act. It's going to be the military. And while the Democrats were so convinced trying to get foundational black Americans to go vote for Kamala blindly, that sent an after effect all the way through. And right now, the Mexicans are in the streets and they're really having a protest about why they can't be considered white. And why what Joe Biden sold them isn't working for them no more. It's got a lot of perimeters beyond that. Like me and my brother Church always say, immigration is about proximity. If you think the Mexicans are in the streets right now getting bad and bold with all them folks, and it ain't got something to do with them wanting to be white, shit, everything they do is they want to be white. They pledge allegiance to whiteness. They see white people when they look in the mirror, no matter how brown they are. So right now, they are saying, we are not leaving until you give us what Joe Biden promised us. And Donald Trump is saying, yo, it's going to leave or I'm sending in the damn Marines. Waving that Mexican flag while you just burnt down a car in America by every aspect and every metric. That's a declaration of war, whether people want to use the term or not. So it is very, very keen and very important that we use the term war, because that's exactly what the hell it is. Tethers are very scared right now. You notice you haven't seen a lot of them Africans. The Africans are scared. Them Africans is hiding like a mug, excuse my language, because the Africans understand if the Mexicans is out there getting snatched up and yoked up and the Marines sicked on them, what's going to happen to you, Mr. Fufu? The tethers are all getting their wake-up call. That's why this situation is a very good situation. Family, if this was Monopoly, I'm telling you, we cash it out. We need to go ahead and watch this, because at this point, there's no way that the illegal immigrants are going to ever go back to getting any type of sympathy from anybody. You do not come into a country, wave a foreign flag, attack officers, and say, we're not going to leave. You know what their beliefs pretty much are? This is what it is in quick translation. They're basically telling everybody this: I'm going to come into America illegally, and if you tell me to go, I'm just going to start burning it. Now, y'all know in the system of supremacy, does that work? Is that a winning strategy? Or is that a you gonna have some real damn trouble strategy? And that's exactly what's happening. And the world is watching right now. And they can thank foundational black Americans, because we told them this 2-3 years ago, especially on election night. So the damage that this is being caused is on and popping. And I suspect that you're going to see this further throughout the country. A lot of people don't understand. Before this happened in LA, it was in Minnesota. In Minnesota, there were insane riots where they were snatching people up in the street. Donald Trump sees this as war. Tom Homan sees this as war. Kristi Noem sees this as war. And I believe every single conservative person, that goes from meth head Melissa to Mayo Matthew to Jethro in the trailer park. Because when we was trying to tell everybody this is how supremacy works, they said, work hard. I worked hard. Well, guess what? Like Donald Trump said, when you spit, we hit. And when the president says that and the Marines is flying around, he meant it. So anybody who thought Donald Trump was playing, go ahead and keep thinking he's playing. And this situation is only going to get worse. Right there. Go ahead, my brother Church, and then I want to see what my sister Angelic has to say.
Oh, dang day, bro. Hey, you know, you just mentioned how they feel like they can come here and stand on menudo business. You know, we know that that's not going to go too good for you, my friend. You're not going to be able to stand on menudo business or burrito business, taco business, enchilada business, or anything else. You can keep that over there. I just wanted to let you know. But salute to our sister Angelic. It's on you.
I noticed on my Twitter feed today, all of these posts from these people, these reposts I've been seeing from the family, posting how we're all of a sudden we're cowards. We're the cowards. And how we don't want to fight for anybody. And I posted a tweet, and Brother Church, he responded to it. The one where I can't remember which one it was. I have to go back and look at it. We're the cowards. We're all of a sudden the cowards. We're the ones that don't fight. And I've seen one that sat up there and was saying, well, they said they told black folks don't fight for the Palestinians, and now they tell y'all don't fight for the Mexicans. Y'all don't fight for anybody, do you? We fight for each other. We fight. Foundational Black Americans fight for foundational Black Americans. That's what we do now. So all of a sudden we're the cowards. And I posted something too, talking about that post right there. I'm looking at it now. The one with this guy, I think he's Haitian or something like that. He's from the Caribbean. I've seen him before. He's a dim shill, this Zelly, whatever this guy is. talking about the Black Panther Party wouldn't sit this one out or tell our people this isn't our fight. This brothers and sisters in the comments just saying like, well, we ain't the Black Panther Party, so there's that. And then I just quote tweeted him and just said, well, we're too lazy, remember? We're too lazy. So all of a sudden now we're the cowards. You fled from your countries to come here to the country that this is the thing for me. And I'm heated. I'm so sorry, family. I don't mean to go on long like this, but I've been so heated the past year or two. These people have the nerve. You sit up here and you're calling us cowards. You fled from your country, fled to the country that our people built. The country that our people fought in every single war and conflict that there has ever been. For you to come here to have a place not only to flee to, but then we give you the right to come here because, like Black Alpha said this. He said this in one of his when he first started out. I remember so much from when he first started doing broadcasts, and he talked about this. He said this: the dominant society wanted this to be an all-white country. They really think they got over here by the grace of white mommy and zaddy. It's because our people fought for you to get over here. Now all of a sudden you want to turn around back on us and tell us we're the cowards? We're lazy? When you fled to come here. You wouldn't fight for your own country, but it's just the projection for me. It's the projection for me. So let me leave it there, family, because I'm heated and I can go on, but let me leave it there. Thank you for letting me come up and speak.
Oh, wow. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, But, yeah. So I just want to say to my sister this came out there, you ain't got to worry about none of these people, man. I'm speaking for the people that actually, from the streets, and y'all don't speak about us. Y'all don't speak about us enough. But we listening to y'all, and these people is cowards. And I want to say another thing to these Latinos and all these immigrants that came over here. Y'all could look up the new home building. These houses is, man, they destroyed these houses. People are paying $400,000 for a house, and the slab is slanted. Water damage. They don't know how to do nothing. I don't want to hear no more about building nothing. And then my last thing I want to do, because I had to write these things down. This is one thing, and I want to say this to Black Alpha, man. You need to start getting to the AI. You're a funny motherfucker, bro. You had me cracking up, man. That's why I be tuning in, man. That's all I want to say, man. Y'all enjoy yourself, all right?
Appreciate you, family. Much respect, bro. Much love. Absolutely, fam. All day. Let's spin the hands going. Yusuf, it's on you.
What they do, family?
Peace and love, fam.
Well, I'm gonna say this, man. I'm new to the space and everything, but I've been on the team for a minute. Black Alpha. I've been following you for a minute, Tariq, Jason Black, everything. So I want to introduce myself to the family, and just know I'm on the team and everything. So I want to say this, man. We ain't ducking no phase. All this talking about what you gonna do. And you see my picture up there. So to the sisters that's in the area, man, you safe, man. You good. I'm from the streets. I don't even come out like this. This is my first time ever doing this. And if any of my dogs see me doing this, they'll be like, wow, dog, you really about this. So, my people been on this block since 1695. So we ain't duck no phase then. We ain't ducking nothing now. So anybody want it, just pull up, man, and we'll meet you to the spot. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? And just like bro said, man, it ain't nothing but a train ride, a boat ride, whatever. However we got to make it, we'll make it happen. We already seen one brother, jump off a boat and got to it, coming out the water. So that's how we rocking, man. And my picture right there, man, we ain't ducking nothing. So much love to the family, and y'all stay tuned to me, man. I'm in the space.
Peace, family, peace. I'm going to be 100 with you. I'm not really worried about none of these suckers. You know why? Because as our sister Angelic said, and as I said earlier today, that god dang it, these folks are braver in our country than they are in their own countries. These folks ain't really, they don't have any type of backbone until they see that they're not getting attacked from the police. If Karen Bass didn't tell these folks not to intervene, because that's what they did, told them not to help ICE, not to hurt these folks and all this other good stuff. If Karen Bass didn't do that and they actually was getting the paws put on them like how they would try to do us. I remember we ain't at no time when we was going through the George Floyd situation when we was marching out here, did anybody get violent and down? Did anybody break anything, break into a business? Nothing like that. But yet the police was the most standoffish with us, literally pushing people with nightsticks, tackling people to the ground, things like that. Right now, I'm loving the fact that Donald Trump is like, oh, no, this is America, and we're going to treat this like an American situation. So since you don't want to say, hey, go and help them out there, I'm going to take this situation over.
That's what I'm saying, fam. We got to stay feet up, man, and vigilant in what we fight for ourselves, man, and worry about ourselves and, stay getting strong. And the ones that ain't, on the team, they just left behind. We can't worry about nobody. We already caught up on games, so we know what's going on. We see through everything, and we just need to stand down. You know what I'm saying, fam? Just stand down, hang out. Summer coming up, enjoy ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We finally got a time to get a little break, a little rest. Everybody get your hustle on, get your bread up, and we just keep it moving, man, and setting standards. You know what I'm saying? That's all we ever did, to set standards. We are the leaders. You know what I'm saying? We run the yard. Don't nobody run the yard like us. We run the yard here, there, everywhere. We run this here. So y'all know FBA is here to stay, man. We always been here. My family been surrounded by the militia from Liberty, Georgia. And I'm born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. So y'all see what it is, man. We ain't ducking nothing. So I land my plane, fam. I love y'all, man, and I'm here.
Much love to you, family.
Much respect, family, all day. See, that's what people have to realize, is that you're dealing with Americans versus non-Americans. So the answer is very simple and very clear. These people are non-Americans, and by no shape or form do you come to this country, mooch off this country, off our taxpayer dollars. Because remember this, family, you're already paying with your taxes for everything these people are doing, everything. And now you're also paying with your taxes for all the damage that they're creating. So quite frankly, they're not doing anything for the United States of America other than being a liability. And just because you have the Democrats who want to get votes, who try to put the money behind these people for votes and for their little corporate gains, the rest of America shouldn't have to suffer dealing with this type of action and atrocities. I haven't seen not one person come out from their community and simply state, we denounce all of the flag burning. We denounce all of the attacks on the agents. I haven't seen any of that. So what I see are people who were spoiled on day one and spoiled on day two. What do you think happens when somebody can come and get everything for free? When they could just show up in your country and just get all? They have a spoiled mentality, and they bring anti-American with them. See, we call them out on their anti-Black American sentiments, which they have, domestic and abroad. And now the whole country's starting to see that these people aren't just anti-Black American, they're anti-American in general. And that's why they got to pay the piper. And that's why we're sitting here watching everything go on in Los Angeles and the way that the National Guard and the Marines are responding. And it's just due. Go ahead, my brother Capone.
Oh, yes. Once again, lovely, my brother, lovely. And we also, my brothers and sisters, have to look out for the attire of the criminals because they are here mooching off us, and they usually wear low-top Air Force fleeing ones. So you got to watch out for the shoes, the hairlines, and, we got to watch out for each other because they like to use our history as well, to fight their cause that they have put no blood in. I have not seen none of their ancestors get hit with water. Get hit with them biggest water hoses, dogs. I ain't seen none of that yet. They crying because they get pushed over and they signs got ripped up. And they talking about freedom and reparations and all that. No, y'all got to put work in. They know how to whoop y'all asses because we done whooped their asses. They know how to fight back. And I'm glad these folks is whooping their ass. The reason why is we done whooped their ass. We got some amendments on the board, and now it's y'all turn to fight. Because nobody was out there with us when we had to get all them amendments. Nobody wanted to deal with our problems, even though we helped everybody in the whole wide mucking world, from Mandela and on, to come get some mucking peace and freedom. But as soon as our back get to the mucking flame, oh, that ain't my problem. Well, yeah, well, now it's our turn, goddammit. My fucking popcorn is popping. I got M&Ms in it, and I'm just watching this mucker burn. And I am loving every moment of it. And my black people, stay home. This is not our fight. I believe we can do much better together if we stay having these conversations and know how to work and collect each other economically. You know, my black people, stay home, eat your popcorn, go to work, mind your business, praise the black Jesus, and I land on that.
Yeah, the black
All
Jesus,
day.
the black Jesus, not that Florida Evans Jesus from Good Times. Black Alpha Network, check your jumbotron.
All day, family. My brother Detroit. Go ahead, family.
Hey, what up, though, to the room? Hey, look, I want everybody to just remember, everybody that's in an elected space that is blatantly showing where their loyalty lies, however they may look like on the outside, we all know all skin folk and not kinfolk. Vote every last one of them out. They puppets, they friends, they all in this whole thing together to keep us down. Secondly, we are foundational Black Americans, so we can criticize our land. Unlike all these other people, they are not from here. They are taking our tax dollars, our money, and going back to where they from. Whether it be an African staying here for 10, 20 years, going back to Africa, whether it be a Mexican, whether it be a Caribbean, they taking our tax dollars and dipping. So they leaving us butt naked. And last but not least, when I'm about to land my plane with this one, 400 years, I've never seen any group stand in front of anything that would negatively affect us, whether it be when we was getting hung, when we was getting redlining, in any shape or form of discrimination, financial or physical or even mental. Nobody stood in front of us, so we need to sit in the stands, get some popcorn like someone said, and watch the show. Because we are not going to be someone's crash out dummies anymore. And all these fake pimps and politicians that's out here campaigning for everybody other than us, we got to get them up out of there. And I'm going to land my plane.
Absolutely, family. Let me say this, and I'm glad my brother just said that, because since this is the cleaning house era and the cleaning house generation, and we just been cleaning house on everybody, it's time that we go ahead and denounce pretty much every single black politician out there. All of them need to be denounced. It's time we clean house of all these black politicians. We are the only people who have politicians who actively work against us. Think about that. Let me say this about a lot of the Latinos. You got Latinos out there who have politicians who support immigration and support them staying. You would never see a black politician support reparations. You got Latinos that will go against the system. I'll say a lot of things about their community, but one of the things that you see is that they will be out here saying how deportation's wrong, Donald Trump is wrong, ICE is wrong, and they'll put it on the line for Latinos. Asians will put it on the line for other Asians. That whatever her name is, Omar lady up there in Minnesota, she'll put it on the line for immigrants. You can't get a black politician to support an anti-black American hate crime bill. As a matter of fact, they openly tell us that we don't deserve one, or they tell us that we've already had one, so therefore we can stop trying to fight for it. Every single black politician need to get their ass in line, and we need to denounce them all. I don't want to hear about this the good one and this one's cool. We can get to them later. If your paperwork check out clean, then we'll go ahead and send you something else. Until then, we need to denounce them all. We need to get all of these people out of here, because the reason why we're in the position we're in is because look what they're doing. Go up there to New Jersey, that Baraka or whatever the hell his name is, and LaMonica McCleaver. They had an insurrection to try to break into a damn ICE facility. They went that hard for illegal immigrants. Look right now what's going on in L.A. They're out there with Maxine Waters and everybody else. Look how hard they're going. Hakeem Jeffries, who's not really a foundational black American any goddamn way, a melanated immigrant. And we need to start checking them paperworks, because 9 times out of 10, the tethers and the Democrats, I call them the tethercrats, they perpetrate the fraud like they're us. But either it's going to be a tethercrat, someone who's pretending to be us, a melanated immigrant, and every time you see them, they're running interference to stop us. In South Carolina, me and my brother Marcel, we done bumped heads with the NAACP, and we we all know the NAACP is just a front organization for the Democrats. But when we were going to stand on reparations business, before we can get to Kamala, we had to deal with them. So from the political spectrum all the way to the social spectrum, we got to get rid of all of these goddamn people, because we will never have our political just due in the United States of America as long as you have these frauds standing in the way of us. People openly trying to forge liberal policies on us, because that's really what it is. The job of a black politician is to forge liberal policies on black Americans, even when the statistics show that black Americans don't even support it. Black Americans ain't out here saying that we need to abort our babies left and right. The liberal gives that order to the black Democrat, and then they try to forge that on us. We're out here saying we want reparations. Me and my brother Marcel, again, we went to Savannah to talk reparations with some people. Matter of fact, we went to go see Stacey Abrams, but they rolled her big ass out of there so fast you couldn't even see her. We talked to a lot of the black people there about reparations, and guess what, y'all? The majority of them supported reparations. You know why? Because they never heard anybody break down reparations to them the way that we did, because we weren't breaking it down to them like Roland Martin would, where he's trying to spin it and twist it. You'd be surprised how much further we go when we get these politicians out of the way. Because remember, a politician is viewed as your representative. So imagine having an agent. You got an agent who's supposed to negotiate a deal for you, and they out there saying, we'll take $5. We don't want the $1 million contract. That's basically what black politicians do. They're false representatives, and they're out here cutting us short and undercutting us. Therefore, we're not getting what we deserve. The reason why you see all of these people out here in the streets, the only people crashing out for them are the black Democrats. When Joe Biden went on that debate stage almost a year ago against Donald Trump and pissed down his leg and could barely finish a sentence, the only people who were defending him were the black Democrats. I seen it. The cameras were rolling. Everybody else said how it was a terrible performance and Joe Biden needed to step down. Even white liberals were saying that it was terrible and Joe Biden needed to step down. But if you watch the black Democrats, they literally said that that was Joe Biden's best performance ever. You see how much these people will cape and the maximum they will go to for these other people. So you're talking about illegal insurrections in the name of illegal immigrants. You're talking about telling black folks we don't deserve reparations or an anti-black American hate crime bill. Shout out to my California cousins, because we seen what the Black Caucus did. They created a bill to destroy a bill just to say they tried the bill. These people are blockades, hurdles, and obstacles in the way of FBA progress. Therefore, we need to denounce them and run them all out of the political atmosphere and make sure their careers are ruined. And we can do that because we already ruined the Democratic Party. So I say we can go ahead and put them blackface Democrats on the front line. I'll send it to you, my brother Church, and then after you, I'll send it to Independent Unity.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I just want to say real quick, as much as I do not like Ilhan Omar, as much as I hope to God that Trump find a way to just deport her too, I gotta say, we got to start looking for our politicians. Because I got to be their politicians until we get the actual politicians. We got to start looking for them to actually be like Ilhan Omar. And what I mean by that is, you see how unapologetically she is speaking up for Somalis, and she's going to the Somalis, speaking to them in their own language, saying, hey, as long as I'm in the Congress, you have a voice in office who's going to speak for your needs and all that other stuff. I don't like it, but I'm gonna be 100 with you. She's doing what she's supposed to do as a representative for her people. So we need to make sure anybody that's looking to get up in there is speaking like that. We don't need you speaking like we're all family. We all got the same, well, we all have the same troubles and things like that. No. I'm gonna need you to talk to us about what specifically we need. Reparations, the transformative black agenda. We need the anti-black hate crime bill. If you're not speaking to us with the full passion of your chest, the whole of your chest, specifically for us, then we need to make sure that gets nowhere. And make sure all the people who are in office right now, who is doing all these things that we've seen, we need to make sure they go the way of the Democrat. The way we did the Democrat plantation and took that down, we need to make sure we pulling all those folks out of office who ain't doing nothing for us, like that big pudgy whatever who's on the LA City Council, who came out and told her people there that they're willing to fight for them. Okay, cool. We need that same kind of energy for people who's supposed to be going in to represent us. But with that being said, family, we can toss it over to Independent.
Thank you to the host and the co-host in the room. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm a bit older, but I used to at one point in time live in California, particularly in the early 80s. So it's just incredible to me, Southern California at that. It's incredible to me how much the community has changed. I mean, I lived in Compton at the time, went to elementary school there. Most of the people I went to elementary school at that point in time were Black Americans, right? I left, came back. I have relatives that lived out there. She moved to, what was that, Fontana at that point? So that was about, give or take, I want to say about 12 years later. In Fontana, the first time I went out there on that street, it was Black Americans, some white folks, and just a little bit of Latinos. When I came back 5 years later, she was the only Black person on the street and everybody else was Latino. And that's when I knew that California was being invaded. This had to be like, oh, wow, had to be like mid to early 90s that happened. And so it's a damn shame, because in Compton, I remember used to be a lady that owned an ice cream shop that was around the corner, Black lady, owned an ice cream shop. Everybody, all the teenagers used to go to her ice cream shop. Everybody went to this ice cream shop. I don't even know if that is something that can be found in Compton at this point. We have got to take our communities back from them. And if that means that, look, first of all, yeah, get the hell out. That's number one. Send them back. That's number two. Don't care how they get sent back. You can throw them back across the border. These are Compton, Watts. Those are our communities. Why have they been taken over by them is the problem. When I'm hearing people talking about that, Black Americans cannot sell dinners on just anywhere, right? If they had a cart, they can't sell the dinners, but they can sell tacos. What's up with that? That's just ridiculous to me, right? I mean, we built these communities, right? Inglewood, hello, these are our communities, and they have, and it's just a damn shame to me that our Black folks have been moved out of these communities, and they're coming in there, not only taking it over, but now destroying what we built. That's a problem. Yes, they got to go by any means necessary. I don't care how they get kicked out. Get them out of here. How hell do you fly your flag in something that's not even yours? That's ours, right? Those are our LA, our community. Compton, our community. Watts, our community. Inglewood, our community. Fremont, all that is ours. Right? And this is just straight bullshit, right? And I remember this because I'm just sitting here like, wow, the fact that this had been allowed to happen to us is just a shame. But I can tell you one thing, we gonna get it back. We're taking it back by any means necessary. If we got to let them do whatever it is they got to do in order to get them the hell up out of here so we can come back, then that's what we're gonna do. And with that, I will give up the mic.
Man, straight fire, sister. I agree, and I agree. Every single thing you said, absolutely. That's how we got to continue. And that type of energy is the energy we have. People got to understand that when you disrespect America, you disrespecting us. That's just what it is. See, people weren't ready for this patriotism that we stand on. They weren't ready for it. And they just gonna have to deal with it now. Because if you disrespect the United States of America, then foundational Black Americans, we're gonna have something to say about that, because remember, you're disrespecting my ancestors. And one thing that we've done, y'all, is that we've changed the way that our ancestors are viewed. Our ancestors are no longer viewed like these people who fought for Julio to come here and fought for Ramirez to come here and Pedro. No. Our ancestors fought for the right for us. Let's make this clear, all right? This little thing that our ancestors were in the streets for civil rights and they were fighting for Julio and immigrants, no. You cannot find me one clip, one piece of footage where you seen a Black American anywhere saying, I'm doing this so 60 years from now, some Mexicans can come over here and burn the flag. Black Americans never said that. That was transitioned in the 80s and the 90s when the Democratic Party started to put words in the mouth of our leaders. This came around the same time they created White and Luther King and Token Luther King and got rid of Martin Luther King. This is what they started to do. Brothers and sisters were out there putting in work in the civil rights era for us. Let nobody tell you anything different. They weren't out there saying, I'm going to boycott and I'm going to stop doing this and I'm going to walk all the way down the street for miles because I'm going to boycott a bus. They didn't do that. You think the Montgomery bus boycott was for Mexicans? You really think so? Hell to the no, it wasn't. So when we start talking about what we've been doing, we have been out here putting it on the front line. And to be real, and I'm going to say this for everybody to understand. Right now, we're so hot and on fire. When you think about America, you think about FBA. Who makes headlines more than foundational Black Americans? Who's got to get addressed and acknowledged more than foundational Black Americans? Essentially, we the hottest thing going in these streets. Everybody's talking about FBA. Go ahead and get on your social media. You're going to find people from damn near every continent, and they making videos about foundational Black Americans. You got people in Asia talking about them foundational Black Americans. You got the Black Brits. They over there talking about foundational Black Americans. Shut up, go get you some tea and crumpets and be quiet. This is what we doing. Everybody knows FBA. We making the front page, man, the papers. It's all about us because we've been standing on business for this country and we're going to continue to do it. So when you disrespect America, I don't just see that you disrespecting the flag. I'm sitting there saying, well, that flag is because of a foundational Black American woman. All right. You disrespecting what we've created. Half of these damn cities were created by us any goddamn way. And that's what nobody's ready for. And that's what they all have to deal with. And when you start talking about all of these Chicanos who are coming over here to America, they're upset because every term that was created that afforded them the ability to steal from us, we've canceled them all out. First thing we did, y'all, is we got our verbiage correct. We started calling ourselves what we wanted to call ourselves and not what they told us to call ourselves. And then the next thing, we pull the plug of all these false names that provide people our benefits. So once you remove those two things and now you're operating independently, now you see how far we've come and we're only going further and everybody else is only falling behind. But as we proceed to give you what you need, because just like war, right? If we can go to Iraq and defend the United States of America way in a foreign country and they can send off 18-year-olds to go fight who aren't even old enough to have a drink here in the United States of America, then we can defend the United States of America right here in this country within these borders against these invaders. And let's continue these hands. Sister Miriam, I lost track of who comes next, beloved. May you send it to the next speaker.
The next speaker is our beloved sister, Miss L.
Again, salute to the space, salute to Queen Alpha, Black Alpha, and everyone in church. I wanted to just bring something up. I was listening and I said, let me request to come back up because if you are like me and you have your oldest going off to college, especially if they're going to an HBCU, I've been hearing this term more recently called minority serving institutions, and I've been looking into it. And I realize a lot of our HBCUs, some of our big ones are listed, and I can send the document out or share it with like Black Truth United. But it has a lot of these schools that I haven't heard of, but they have a lot of HBCUs. And I just want to make other FBA parents aware if your child is going off to college for their freshman year, because we're talking to ours, my husband and I were talking to our oldest, tell them to start to be aware of their professors. Like I said, we've seen these cases over the years where we have these professors who are not of our lineage and they're targeting our FBA children in institutions that were built for us. And I have a huge problem with that. And so for me, I want to make sure that our children are aware of these professors, looking at those last names, looking at them hopscotch hairlines and all of that, making sure that, we're on top of that. And also making sure that our kids gatekeep their culture at HBCUs, because I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's a guy, I can't remember his name, but he was talking greasy about Juneteenth. I think he was saying something about Juneteenth or co-signing that. And he's a part of, I believe, Omega Psi Phi, which is also, a FBA fraternity. And I know that people were actually getting on his bumper on Twitter and also tagging the president of that fraternity to get him removed. And people had the sentiment, which is correct. How can you come into an organization that was established by our ancestors and then denigrate a holiday that was created to celebrate our ancestors and their liberation from slavery? And so just the FYI, I just thought about it. Just make sure if you're a Black parent, sit down with your kids, game them up, even though they should be safe at HBCUs, because you know what, as opposed to going to a PWI where they may face that overt racism, We just want to make sure that we're having more of our kids enroll in these HBCUs, making sure that our presidents are of our lineage, and making sure that these scholarships are also going to our kids, because we know we have to work 10 times, 20 times, 30 times as hard than these other people. We don't get these scholarships for our Black students under the banner of, Nigerian or Caribbean and Ghanaian or whatever the case may be. And, no disrespect to the on-code immigrants. If you're on code with us, you know what, we're not talking about you, but too many of them are not when they come over here, and they pass that sentiment on to their kids. And so that's just something I want us to be aware of, family. And also this term, minority serving institutions. We don't want them taking the term HBCU, remixing it, and then switching it out to minority serving institutions. I looked, it's like a 6-7 page document of just a list of these different universities all over the country. And we know all it takes is for just a few of them to get into our institutions, and then they change it, they remix it, and we understand they're going to look out for each other. Off-code Black immigrant is going to look out and make sure that a Afro-Latino immigrant gets enrolled before an FBA. And with that, I'll land.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you, family. I understand what you're saying tenfold, especially being from Watts. Salute to you. I'm going to be real honest with you. When they say minority serving institutions, what they're talking about is the DACA recipients. And there are many institutions that get extra funding if you call yourself a minority serving institution. Even like you said, several HBCUs are listed under the minority serving institutions as well. However, when they're saying minority, what they're talking about are DACA recipients. That is the minority serving institutions that receive the most funding. If they ask you what kind of minorities you serve there, because they will ask you not only what kind of minorities you serve there, but the amount of minorities to make sure you have enough of them. If you say it's a Black institution, and it's the same thing with they have a grant, and if you say that you're a HBCU student, you won't qualify for the minority serving grant, right? You'll qualify for other grants, they'll say, but you have to go through other channels. No, they have a grant for these people as well. And when you say you're a DACA recipient, you are pushed to the front of the line for that grant. That's how that works. The same thing, I'm at Texas Southern University. At Texas Southern University, there are several different people who've won the Freedman grant. None of them being freedmen. I know they're not freedmen because last names stuff like Umangu or Upatu or whatever the situation may have you, but it's never a foundational Black American name. It is never a foundational Black American freedman from what I saw. And I brought up I brought that up to the president and the newly president now. Guess what they did? They brought in a new president because they've been shoveling them in and out for a while now. I've been making this complaint for almost 4 years now. They brought in a new president, and the new president is African. So this is how they do us even at our own institutions. But when we're speaking about these minority serving, just know when you hear that term, they're speaking specifically for the recipients of DACA.
That's exactly why. And that's why we're not in here playing nice and saying, well, let them give them the benefit of the doubt now. Damn the benefit of the doubt. Anybody who taps into these spaces or seeing Black Alpha in work, I'm not only the #1 activist on the planet Earth, but I have to be top 2 or 3 roasters in the game. The way I be slicing and dicing these people with calm facts and receipts, and very funny in the damn process. So you know what it is. You don't want no smoke, male.
Hey, yo, Black.
Now hold up, homie. Hold on. I'm talking about myself, homie. Never interrupt me when I'm talking about myself, okay? Because I love me some me. All right. I love me some damn me. Yes, I do.
Man, I'm right. I wanted to alert you guys that I'm in South Africa. I need to go to work.
Yeah. My brother Church whatever you talk, my brother Church gonna handle you. Me, love me some me, top roaster, #1 activist. Go ahead, Church. Do what you do, brother.
What was this situation with this guy here? Go ahead. Unmute your mic.
I just wanted to drop a few words. I'm from South Africa originally.
Okay. You just wanted to drop a few words. You're from, hold on. Dylan. You wanted to drop a few words but you felt like it was respectful to interrupt our good brother Black Alpha, who was sitting here not only speaking facts, but was giving
Yeah.
brick after brick to the foundation of what we're speaking about. So what made you think that you're okay to do so? Go ahead. Go ahead. Unmute. You're not muted.
Thanks for that. I apologize for that. I'm running to work. It's almost 7 a.m. this side, and I know you guys, it's midnight that side. So apologies for barging in like that. I just wanted to ask the audience, don't you find it convincingly weird that Elon Musk comes or was born here? Not so long, they shipped a few racists to your side, and today y'all are having that LA situation. What type of coincidence is this? Thanks.
I'm going to need you to repeat that because I barely understood what the hell you said. I got to keep it real with you. It was so hard for me to understand anything you said, but I would really like to hear what you said so I can respond, because I don't like to respond without knowing what I'm responding to, because that'll be a fault on my own. So I'm going to need you to repeat it, and please slow it down. Don't try to, speed it up, because you already got a language barrier, okay? Make it simple, make it plain. Go ahead.
I'd rather type it to you so that you can read it out, and then we'll debate it later. Thanks.
Okay, type it out to me, family. No worries, because I know that you got people in the background. I don't know who it is, what it is. You might have, animals in the background, whatever the situation was, but it was loud back there. Yeah, I don't know if you're in the jungle. I don't know if you're on the freeway, whatever the situation may have you. So I don't want to misinterpret anything. I want to make sure I hear exactly what you're saying and know exactly what you're asking so I can respond to it. But that's the problem. A lot of the times, you guys just don't have clear-cut conversations. So it's very difficult for us to understand what you're saying.
I could
Let's move.
translate if you need.
Please translate.
I'm a New Yorker, so I'm used to it.
Please, my
said-
sister Brooke, please, because I'm
He
sitting here
said,
trying my hardest. My ears
I
are not
know,
working.
and that's what they don't really understand. That y'all really don't understand what they saying. They think y'all be playing with them, and that you trying to make fun of them. And I'm like, no, they really can't understand you. I only can because I've been around them damn near my whole life. Anyway, what he said was he was trying to make a correlation that made no sense. He's trying to make a correlation between the white South Africans. He said, what coincidence is it that Elon Musk, the situation is going on with Elon Musk, they bring all these white South Africans over here, and now we have this situation in LA. Like I said, it's a point that doesn't really make any sense. The correlation is flawed in just
And
laying it out.
asinine.
Right.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much, my sister queen.
Anytime I can translate anytime.
Because I'm gonna have to just use you as my native translator, because god dang it, I'm be honest with you, there's a lot of them folks up there that I do
Yeah.
not understand at all.
I'm pretty good with the accents, but even still, sometimes I'm still like, I can't. Now, if I can't understand you, I can't understand you. Like, you're gonna have to slow it down. So even I still have problems, but I am better than like my mom and my sisters, and you know what I mean, the rest of my family.
Much love to you, my sister Brooke. See, this is what I'm saying.
Anytime.
We shouldn't need my sister Brooke to have to strain her ears to understand what the hell is going on, because we can't understand what the hell is going on. If you want to come up and you want to talk a little nonsense, you should be at least able to speak the language. Now, since you wanted to bring up the South Africans who have nothing to do with this, there's about 50 of them, really 49 now, because one of them has unalived his wife and he's went to jail for it. So now 48 out here. They have nothing to do with the millions upon millions that was opened, the floodgates was opened up to. Like, it's very, very, and I've said this several times before, and my brother Alpha, please let me know if I'm ranting a little bit, but I've said this several times before. I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about the little 50 people that Trump brought over if they didn't say nothing about all the millions of people that Biden let in. Not only let in through the border, but he was sitting there sending planes to pick them up in the dead of night and drop them off in New York, drop them off in Los Angeles, drop them off in Chicago, drop them off. They tried to drop them off in Texas, but Greg Abbott said, no. Sent them up there to Martha's Vineyard, and what happened? All of a sudden, they got moved from Martha's Vineyard all the way back down to the broader cities of New York. We're not going to have this conversation with people who want to be selective in this situation. We're not going to be selective mutants. Y'all are selective mutes. You select when you want to speak out and select when you want to be mute. But every time that you speak out, it's because you got somebody in office that you don't like. When the Democrats were in office and they were doing all these things, I didn't hear not one of you people saying nothing, although FBA was out here calling every single situation out. Him bringing them in the dead of night, we called that out. And all the Democrats got on the news and was talking about, oh, well, you know, he's able to do this. The Supreme Court has passed the law. Well, they passed their decision that says that he's able to do this. Okay, cool. All right, fine. But the fact of the matter is, nobody said nothing but us. And now that you have Trump back in office and he's bypassing all the nonsense and just getting them out of here. Now everybody want to talk about all the other variants. Oh, what about the 50 people that he brought in? That's 50 people compared to hundreds of millions. And trust me, I want them gone too. But we're not about to sit here and play this damn game. As if he didn't just watch millions upon millions get brought into this country in various of ways. And then think we're supposed to be upset about 50 people. My brother Alpha, you want to touch on that, man?
Oh man, easy roasting. Bam, they desperate and they breaking them down. By the way, church, go ahead and check the comment section. You got some tethers mad at you. You got some tethers in there mad. They running tether interference. And shout out to my sister Brooke. Brooke done pulled out the road tether stone. You know, that's the tether translation, family. We got to learn how to understand. We got to learn how to understand what they saying out here in these streets, y'all. But let's get through the hands. We got some people in here. Let me see. I'm my brother Cool Keezy in here, man. Let me send it to my brother Cool Keezy and we'll send it in and we'll wrap all this up, fam, because we've been bubbling for a long time. But go ahead, my good brother. Ready for that track too, family. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, peace to the family, man. Y'all got me over here laughing and whatnot. Hey, man. Hey, the way I was looking at, I wanted to shoot this angle at the family, man. The way I'm looking at these protests or whatever is that, you know, since we all know that a large percentage of these people that's protesting and tearing up, they classify themselves as white. So I look at these protests actually as I'm white too rallies. They're having all these I'm white too rallies because they got their wake-up call and they're getting the smackdown and then now they're crying foul. And that's the way I look at it. It looks exactly like that when you look at it too. And that's all I got, family.
Absolutely, fam. It's the real white versus the I thought I was dark white. And it ain't going to end too right for none of them.
I understand that. And we're going to end off with these few hands. However, my brother, there is a supporter in the request. Should we let that supporter come on up?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, let's bring him up.
Come on up, supporter. Come on up.
Come on up, Bill Watkins.
Really appreciate it because I jumped in a little late. I'm calling from the middle of Mexico. Just a little reverse flow on that. I'm born in Pasadena, California, a 10-minute drive into downtown LA, of course. So I'm tracking what's happening there a lot. I'm in recovery. I'm spiritually minded. I see things in that lens. I believe in trying to be loving and not so dividing, and to be welcoming if possible. If there's a real threat, some people I know feel threatened by the immigrant scene. I'm not sure what percentage of the group on this space lives in that vicinity in the Southern California area, or whether that is so important. But I do wish sort of for a meditation on a couple of things, if I could. I would just say sometimes I reflect on rights, and does a government have a right to hoard land, to take in land for themselves?
First off, is it nice to burn the American flag and to attack federal agents in the United States of America? No, it is not. Is it nice to firebomb Black Americans in California? No, it is not. So the niceness in which he speaks of, he needs to actually start pointing in his people's direction. Because if you look at this situation, the violence is coming from one side. It's coming from the illegal invaders. And there's a thing called law and order, in which you have to abide by. So this thing where emotions overwrite the law, that is not in existence here in the United States. And quite frankly, it's not in existence anywhere. Let me tell everybody a big secret that don't nobody want to talk about. In Mexico, they have anti-immigrant protests every single day. And in Mexico, they don't want any immigrants there neither. Oh yeah, you ain't gonna hear this on ABC or NBC or CNN, but you're gonna hear it right here with us. If you want to talk about anti-immigration, go on down to Mexico and they make MAGA look like open borders. You can see the footage and it's everywhere all the time. And as well, we talk about Africans because we ain't forget about you, Mr. Mutombo. I know you're hiding right now. You somewhere in an Uber, hiding in the trunk, hoping ICE don't find you, but they're going to get you as soon as they done with Julio. Go over there to Africa right now. Think about it. Africa has the world's biggest migration, but they don't ever migrate within Africa. You want to know why? It's because Africans don't accept other Africans who migrate there. They would rather go across the Mediterranean Sea and risk drowning, literally, than to go anywhere else in Africa. Go on down and see how the Nigerians are when someone tries to migrate to Nigeria. Look how the South Africans treat the Nigerians when they come down there. Look how people from Senegal are when they go to the Ivory Coast. Immigration is not accepted anywhere in the world. But when it comes to the country in which we created, now everybody wants to talk about emotions and being nice and playing fair. It is playing fair. We play fair by the letter of the law. And the letter of the law says if you enter a country unlawfully, then you are going to get sent home. And by the way, when foundational Black Americans go out here and we protest or we rally based on being Americans, I don't see any Julio or Gonzalez's out there talking about being nice. But when they're out here protesting not to be American, now they want everybody to play fair. It ain't going to work. And the reason why he left so fast, Brother Church, he couldn't stand 2 seconds of you speaking to him because he understood that this ain't the place, this ain't the time, and this ain't the day. We are as American as it gets. So as you see everybody else saying, like it or leave it, I'm saying the same exact goddamn thing. Only difference is I'm saying it with a foundational Black American vernacular. Get the hell up out my goddamn country.
Can I talk about being half Mexican? Because I'm like half Mexican.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, go ahead, half Mexican. Go ahead.
I'm from LA, like the greater Los Angeles area.
Uh-huh.
And like I've been to Lamert Park, and she was saying it is being gentrified, but it's about money, bro. Like I used to go to Project Blowed and like listen to hip hop music, and that's a Black thing, right? Everybody knows that. But you know, I just want you guys to let us know if it's okay for us to listen to hip hop music. I like rap music. I don't want to listen to Mexican music. You know, some of that stuff is just, it doesn't do it for me. You know, so I would go to like Project Blowed. I would listen to like hip hop growing up, and now that this is nothing new, you know, they've been trying to get rid of the Indian race, right? Not the India, because everybody knows that, you know, when Columbus came, they were like, oh, these guys look like they're from India. We'll just call them Indian. But they were like these, like, you know, Native Americans, you know, trading clams or shells and like fur, you know, and there's a lot of change going on, and that's what's going on with the world, you know, I'm half
They never
Mexican.
said that, but
So
go ahead.
listening to them talk about it.
Man. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead.
Listening to them, listening to my family talk about like their ancestors, like where they came from, we didn't go that far back, but they were talking about the French and the Mexico War, and that's why there was like a lot of French family names on my mom's side. But then my father's side, you know, they're all from Germany, they're all from Europe and England. So it was kind of weird growing up, you know, like I couldn't. It was like the Mexicans. I was too white to be Mexican, and then I was too Mexican to be white. So it's kind of hard, you know, like being who I am, you know, and trying to identify myself with something. So it's just assimilating into what's the majority. So the minority is the Mexican, right? So it's not that they're trying to be white; they're just assimilating and say, "Yo, I have to, you know, change my name from Juan to
Okay,
John,"
let me ask you a question.
or you
Let
know,
me ask you a question.
go ahead,
You say that
go ahead.
you're half Mexican and what?
German,
You're half Mexican and German.
Andrew Gillum
yeah.
Jr.
Okay, let me ask you this question. You say that they're not trying to be white, referring to the Mexicans. Then how come so
Yep.
many of them say date a white person and not a black person? And if you bring a black person home, then you will be sent out of the family. And I know that for a fact because I've heard that from a multitude of Mexican people.
So, all right, look, I haven't heard that
You
yet.
know,
That
you've
sounds like
heard that
another
before,
whole.
sir.
That sounds like a whole another argument,
Sir,
like of being like,
sir,
whoa.
you've heard that before. You've heard that before. I'm not even a Mexican, and I've heard that. And I've heard that by a multitude of Mexicans. And I've also met Mexicans that told me that
No, but sir,
I
I've met.
met Mexicans who told me that someone like you would be saying exactly what you're saying right now if ever confronted with this statement. Yeah, I've
No,
heard
okay,
that. And
I've
as
met.
well, I've also heard George Lopez. He got on stage and he said, never park your car on the lawn and never date a black person. So this is a multitude of Mexicans who have said that. So it's very disingenuous, and I call disingenuous a lie, that you're saying that you've never heard that before. Do you subscribe to white supremacy and whiteness more than you subscribe to being a Mexican?
It's some ice trucks they pulling up, so the mic might be messed up.
No, yeah, you guys are muting me. I don't know. I don't associate with white supremacists.
Then why are you making
I think that.
excuses? Why are you making excuses? And you're talking about the Indians as well, saying that the Indians don't subscribe to it, Mexicans don't subscribe to it. Then how come all of the chiefs in every single quote unquote Native American tribe are all white people with blonde hair, blue eyes?
Look, there's this black guy I know.
I'm not
He's from
talking
the
about the black.
jungles.
I'm
I don't know
talking
if you
about
guys
the
know
Indians.
about the
I'm
jungles.
not talking about that. I'm talking about the Indians, the Mexicans, and white supremacy. That's what I'm talking about right now. I need you to stay on path. I know you have a hard time sitting still, but that's okay. I need you to answer that question because it sounds like you're in here trying to get us to put on the cape for the Mexicans out in California right now who are being deported. And you're doing this roundabout way of getting us to get on board. Let me give you a spoiler. That's not going to happen. Let me give you another spoiler. Hell no. And let me give you a third spoiler. We know exactly that you subscribe to white supremacy and you probably have that Mexican side in you and you subscribe to the German side. Would I be correct in that assessment?
No, I gotta disagree.
Okay, then tell me why you disagree. And I need facts, not rhetoric.
Okay, the black man that I grew up with, he's from the jungles, and he went to 23andMe. I don't know, in the 90s.
And the Mexican guy that I was around, he grew up in Taco Bell. Okay, and he used to serve Bel Grandes all day. I want y'all to notice how he thinks the jungle stuff is going to work. You better pull that on Mr. Fufu. There's a guy down here in the bottom. He's Mr. Mutombo, and he's an African, and he's not from America, just like your people ain't from America. As a matter of fact, why are you even having this conversation? Because you say you're half Mexican, not American, and German, not American. So you're just a non-American trying to speak to Americans using jungle jokes. Well, I got a Taco Bell joke for you. What do you call Julio, who works at Taco Bell and actually graduated from high school? That's a question to you.
No,
No,
he told
no.
me that he was actually a native Indian, and he.
What do you call Julio who works at Taco Bell and graduated from high school? I'll tell you who it is. It's not a Julio because Julio never graduated from high school. There's your answer. So you need to go find up a better reason why you're trying to get foundational Black Americans on board with this whole riot thing. How do you feel about the riots? Do you support anti-Americanism and burning the flag in the streets? Are you conflicted right now by what's going on in California because you see your favorite white people beating down your I want to be white people Mexicans? That's my question to you.
No way.
Then tell me how you feel about it.
I don't feel good about it. It's hard. You know, there's a lot of stereotypes going on. I get
What do you mean stereotype?
that every
The
day.
stereotype about people who are burning the American flag about being deported. You know how it works in every
Well,
country, right?
America's barely been around for about a couple hundred years. It's a new ideology. It's a new
Well,
philosophy.
first off, a couple hundred years isn't anything new about that. What are you basing this off of? Dog years? Okay, America's been around for quite some time. And whether it's been around for quite some time or not, the rules are the rules. I want everybody to notice how he's saying the rules don't matter based on his timetable of Nacho Belgrande's. Okay, let me tell you how it works. In America and every other civilized nation in the world, and he was talking about the jungles, right? Apparently, this man's on jungle time himself. There's something called laws, and there's something called citizenship. And you have to come in this place lawfully. So you're supporting the unlawful entry into a country that is called criminality. So you are a self-admitted criminal or a criminal sympathizer. And I'm sure you have those same criminals all throughout your own family. So it seems like you want people to come into America and you want America to allow you to stay. And if we don't allow you to stay, then you just want to burn things. So basically you're an arsonist, you're a treasonist, and
No way. Because look at there's Vietnamese being deported. There's Chinese people being deported. It's not
and
just
they should be deported. Every last one of them should be deported because they have entered this country unlawfully. You are a criminal. You're a criminal who wants to come into my country, bringing your anti-American sentiments, and you want to take over this country. You are an invader, sir. You are an invader.
I had the
In the
privilege.
United States of America, and me as a United States of American citizen, I am going to call ICE on you. I'm going to call it twice on you because I'm not here to play nice with you. You need to leave my country. This is a country in which my ancestors created and built, and your ancestors tried to run here. So did your mother, and so did your father, and your sister, and your brother, and your nieces, and your nephews, and your aunties, and your uncles, and your boyfriend. All of you guys have came into my country unlawfully, and you think that we have to play by your rules. We don't play by the rules of the invader. We don't play by the rules of the fleer. We don't play by the rules of the criminal. And you need to get that through your head. Where are you located so I can have my good brother Black Truth United send Tom home into your house? Can you tell us that? Because if you don't tell us where you're actually located, then I'm going to suspect that you are an illegal.
All right. Well, my family works for the INS in Los Angeles.
Also,
we're not immigrants. We never.
So your family are sellouts. Also, you're selling out your own people, and you are selling out your own family. So wait a minute now. You say that your family is assisting sending other family members home, yet you don't agree with the deportation process. You are very conflicted, Julio. Julio, you need to get your mind right, and you need to get your act together, because it sounds like on one hand, you want to subscribe to supremacy and you want to subscribe to being dark white. There's no such thing as dark white. It's only white people, and you're not the right people. So you're going to have to understand that you cannot support criminality in coming into this country, and you cannot support straddling the fence because there's no fence there at all. So once again, do you support the criminality that we see in the streets right now with burning the American flag and attacking federal agents? I want to know how deep your anti-American sentiments runs. The floor is yours.
Thank you for giving me a voice. Just to talk.
Now, don't thank me.
Like I said, I'm half Mexican.
Okay, understand that. Now answer the question. Do you support the anti-American riots that are going on in this country?
Well, between one situation and another.
Yes or no?
The media.
No, it's not the media.
The media.
No.
I just said no.
You're dancing around. If it's no, it's no. It's not no. And then the media and Donald Trump and Republicans, you need to be straightforward. If somebody asks me, do I support criminality? Yes or no? I'm going to answer them with a yes or no. That is a 3-letter and a 2-letter answer. And you want to talk about the media, which is a tactic of deflection. Sounds like you're being a sympathizer and you're being an illegal invader supporter, and you don't want to admit it publicly. So directly, not indirectly, not around the corner, up the block, down the street, not the Belgrande or the fajita or the schnitzel. I need you to tell me, do you support this, and tell me why your reason is what it is?
No.
Good. You got half the part. Now tell me the reason behind it so I can tell how full of shit you are. And remember, you're speaking to an American, so you show me the respect of my country because you are anti-American.
I'm not anti-American. I'm just
You call
Christian. That's
somebody who
all.
supports burning the American flag.
I did see that guy burning the flag.
It
I'm not
wasn't a guy.
against
It
that
was a
guy.
bunch of guys
I don't
and
know who
girls
he.
and men and women. I tend to believe you're lying because guess what? The whole world is watching what's going on right now in Los Angeles, California, and it literally has went viral, meaning millions of views. So you mean to tell me in a country with 320 million people who have seen these pictures and this media that you haven't seen it? And also want everybody to notice this as well. Wasn't he just blaming the media a minute ago? He was saying it's because the media. Well, if you could blame the media because of this situation, then how come you haven't seen the footage from the media? The media has been the main ones out here. So your excuse doesn't compute and you're making it up. Just tell everybody what it is.
The media,
Yeah,
like Boys in the Hood.
absolutely. Yes. Tell everybody what it is, Jorge. You're seeing the footage. You know that these people are anti-America and you want to put on a cape for them because you know if they get deported, that's going to stop you from being white. That's what it really is. And to be honest with you, I don't know if you're actually half German anyway. I really, really doubt that. Where are your people from in Germany?
And don't Google search it
Old
neither.
Prussian.
Old
Point of
Prussian?
view. P. Old Prussian.
Okay, you're lying. You're lying. There were no immigrants who came over here from that area at all. I would have gave you a multitude of different answers, but he's making up syllables. Old Prussian to Russian, Russian concussion. You're lying. That's not where your people are from because you are not half white. What you are is a Mexican who looks in the mirror and thinks that he's seeing Justin Timberlake look back at him. This is why you're trying to talk to real Americans like us and trying to convince us to put on the cape so we can save Julio from being deported. And once Julio is saved from being deported, you can go on with your life of living in a fantasy land where you think that you're Tom Cruise. You're not Tom Cruise. You're not Brad Pitt. You're not George W. Bush. You're not Donald Trump at all. You're not none of the members of the Backstreet Boys. I know you probably be doing circles and twists and spins with an umbrella on and thinking that you're the Backstreet Boys, okay? I'm going to tell you why. Because you are an illegal who has a very skeptical background and you're not German at all. And mind you, I've been all through Europe and I've never seen anybody who's from where you say you're from that has migrated here to the United States of America. So that's a receipt on the table for everybody. Family, do we have a cosplaying? What is this? Adolf Gonzalez? Is that who you are? Adolf Gonzalez? I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Gunther Ramirez. Okay, you're going to have to try something else. Now, I'm not going to let you off the hook with giving us a real answer on why you support these legal migrants burning the American flag and why you proclaimed, purported, and professed that you didn't see it, but yet you blame the media. How come I don't hear energy from you like you hear from all of us? I want everybody to notice that us Americans are denouncing clearly that we do not support illegal invaders unlawfully entering our country and unlawfully attacking American citizens. You haven't gave me one reason why you are against this. And I'm going to provide you the opportunity because when I lay receipts on the table and I regulate, I do it very fairly. We don't have to cheat to win. So you tell me why you claim that you support it, claim the media did it, but claim you didn't see the footage. If everybody in here has seen the footage, I want you to tell me right now why it's okay to burn the American flag. And then we can see how un-American you are.
All right. I don't know. The media shows me a statue being put up in Times Square of some black lady, and everybody's mad at that. So I'm watching what you guys are watching. What the world's watching is I'm watching.
That is nothing to do.
It's not about.
That has nothing to do with y'all. I want you guys to notice when I asked him about the American flag burning going on.
Oh my God, bro. I've done satellite.
Yeah, he got a satellite. Man, this is not 1992. I guess you was right, EJ. I guess this man's watching on a box television and he's talking on a walkie-talkie. Twitter Spaces do not have access to walkie-talkies. Nice try. Try again. Now, I want you guys to notice that when I bring up the riots in LA and American flag burning, his answer is a black woman statue in New York City. One in which, by the way, looks like a Caribbean woman. One in which, by the way, is not American, just like he's not American. And guess what, y'all? He's not white. Just because in your mind you're white doesn't mean you are in the mirror. So we clearly see that you have an obsession with being a white person, and we need to know why that is what it is. So without bringing up statues, without bringing up New York, without bringing up a different region or different coast, tell us why you're proclaiming that you didn't see the American flag burning. And I want you to tell us why you feel that being white is all right.
You have to understand that they're talking about whether or not this beautiful race of people is going to survive on the earth. Nothing else. That's all they're talking about. when they're burning the flag, if you look at them burning the flag, that's a revolution right there. Look at what's going on with the media. They're telling us LGBTQ and being.
Didn't I say earlier? They're running around here saying it's a revolution. It's not a riot.
That's exactly what he's doing. I want you guys to notice now how he's trying to talk over me. Sir, you don't have enough bass in your voice to overtalk a Black American man. Now listen and stick to the question, because right now you're getting embarrassed. Let me give you a real-time result on what's happening. You're being embarrassed. You're being exposed as a fraud. You're not the 17th member of the Backstreet Boys, and you're not the 15th member of NSYNC. What you are is the 1 millionth tether, fleer, hopper, skipper, jumper who has been embarrassed coming into these Black American spaces. And if you want to stop being embarrassed, then I suggest you answer these questions right here, right now. And you talk about a race leaving and a race going away. Isn't your real problem with people that you want to be with so bad? I want you guys to notice again, whenever white mommy or daddy comes down on these people, they always run to Black Americans and try to get us to go help them. This has nothing to do with me. I'm good. I can't be deported. I am going to sit down tonight with my wife. We're going to pop some popcorn and watch what's going on in LA. I'm going to send a shout out to my brother EJ, who changed his bamboo stick to a billy club, and he'll change it back later on accordingly. But that's what I'm going to do tonight. And I'm going to wake up every day and walk right by the ICE agent. Matter of fact, I might stop and shake his hand because I'm probably the one who called him. So I'm good tonight. So don't worry about me or my citizenship. I want to know about you and why you're trying to get us to save you from deportations. Now, go ahead and answer that question without bringing up a revolution, without bringing up the media, and without lying to the people. Because that's one thing we don't do in America. We do not lie. We speak the truth. I know you may do that down in Mexico, but we don't do that here in America. So go ahead.
All right. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you, you guys keep muting me.
Go ahead. You're trying, but you're failing. But go ahead.
How am I failing, bro? Like you guys are.
Well, you're failing. You're failing just like you failed in your homeland. Just like your father failed in his homeland, just like your great-grandfather. You come from a long line of failures. We come from a long line of succeeders, perseverers, strong, powerful, mighty, excellent. We're so excellent and we're so much winners that you got to come into our spaces and get us to save you. Notice we don't go into any of your spaces and try to save y'all or ask y'all to help. We don't do any of that. So that's why you're failing. And you also cannot articulate yourself properly. So again, speak your truth, and we will make the final determination because we're Americans and we say so. Why do you support illegal invaders?
I'm not doubting the Black race where you're at. I'm not doubting that. All I'm saying is I never have to run from Border Patrol. I never had to worry about that. Even my parents and my grandparents didn't have to worry about that. They were like, whatever it is American that you claim to be.
Okay, so your parents sold out your other family members. Is that what you're telling me?
What do you mean sold out, bro?
Like sold out because they're the ones calling ICE. So I suspect that your grandma probably called ICE just as much as I have. Is that the case? So it sounds like you come from a long line of not just failures and fleers, you also come from a line of sellouts. Family, I want you guys to notice there is no unity amongst the Latino community. Notice that the Latino community, on one hand, always begs foundational Black Americans to help them, but they be the main ones calling ICE. You want to know who supports deportations damn near as much as we do? Other Latinos. Other Latinos do. Because the ones who come here, they feel that they're closer to whiteness. And they only know there's only about 5 positions and seats at the table of the I want to be white, I think I'm dark white community. They don't want 500 new people coming here because then they would have 500 new people to compete with for the affection of mommy and daddy. So it sounds like you come from a lineage and a heritage of fleers and hoppers and skippers and jumpers. And you also come from a lineage of illegal invaders. And you also come from a lineage of people who get ran out of FBA spaces. And you also come from a lineage of people who have no receipts, cannot enunciate, cannot speak properly. And foundational Black Americans, the great Americans that we are, we see through that, we see past that. There's no Black and brown coalition, only the Black and brown coalition. And every single one of these people who come up in here, let me translate it for you. They're basically saying, hey, Black folks, I cannot stand on my own. I cannot stand on business. I cannot put in work, can't get a rally, a protest, a march together. The Democrats are gone because y'all ruined them. Can you please help us save anything that we thought we had left? And the answer to you is hell no, Julio, you got to go. The same way he had to go off of this panel because we just dropped him. Family, this is Black Americans against illegal invaders. And the illegal invader just found out that he's going to have to invade in reverse, meaning you need to invade Mexico or Venezuela. You need to invade Nicaragua, because you cannot come into my country where we are proud to be Americans, where at least we know we don't flee. Check motherfucking mate. Hey, hold on. Hey, brother, didn't NSYNC have a song called Bye Bye Bye?
Bye, bye, bye. Yeah, you know, I guess
Yep,
it was.
in sync, baby.
We in here right now, and Black Americans always win. Shout out to everybody in their made up homelands. It feels good to be in a real one.